Joel Embiid led all scorers with 37 points. Rick, should Philly, the 76ers, be the favorite out of the East?
Oh, we're not going to do this, are we? Are we really going to do this?
Yes, we are.
Two games against the play-in Minnesota Timberwolves and the 12th place New York Knicks, the 15th and 17th ranked defenses in the league. And against the Philadelphia 76ers are all excited because they traded a guy in Ben Simmons who wasn't playing for them at all for James Harden, who is now reunited with his GM and is in his happy place once again, as we've seen for short periods of time in various places. Now we're going to make the Philadelphia 76ers the favorite in the Eastern Conference. When I look at even offensively, as much as they've shown, I've got the Bulls, the Bucks, the Heat, at least those three teams. Oh, and the Brooklyn Nets, all ahead of them offensively. And I've got the Cavs and the Heat ahead of them defensively. So, look, I said at the beginning of the year, the Milwaukee Bucks were my pick to repeat as champions. I'm still going to go along with that. They need to get Brook Lopez back. They need to have some size in order to get the deal done. But outside of that, I'm going to stick with my pick. But if we're going to say that anybody should be the favorite in the Eastern Conference right now, based on where they are, it would be the Miami Heat because of their ranking both defensively and offensively. The Philadelphia 76ers, after 2 games against 2 teams that they should beat with mediocre defenses, and we're now going to say, oh my God, here they go. Here they go. This is the Philadelphia 76ers. The process is finally delivering. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. They got the Cavs, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Nets all coming back. Let's revisit this a week or 2 from now and see if we're thinking the same thing.
Well, I got my cuffs on, and I'm the prisoner of the moment. And I like what I see so far because I see a James Harden that is in his zone, that is happy where he is playing iso ball with the big, where all the pressure is no longer on him. And yes, I think that they are, and they will be the favorites. Why? Because we've seen James Harden thrive in the regular season. We've seen him struggle in the postseason when it was all on him. It is no longer going to all be on him. Joel Embiid will take away that pressure. He will lighten the load. He will loosen the atmosphere and the environment and make it fun and exciting, and understanding that I don't have to be this James Harden-esque. It's all about me and iso ball. I got a wingman that is one of the best in the business right now that can get it done. Now, right now as they stand, it's exciting. I am a prisoner of the moment, and I am excited about it, and I want to see them be successful. But when you're talking about the championship pedigree, the Bucks, I still like the Bucks. I do believe that the Sixers can get it done, but the Bucks, I'm not writing them off just because I believe for the first time in a few years, in Giannis's career, they finally decided it's not about the regular season. This is not a regular season race. And they are just getting through the regular season and ramping up for the postseason. Like you said, they do need size, so Lopez needs to get back out there and be healthy. But that is the team, in my opinion, to beat in the East, the Bucks.
I mean, Bucks, I get it. You know, I really love this Sixers stuff, guys. I don't know if you were on social media. Hopefully not. You spend your weekends with your families. But I did see some bozos in Philadelphia posting photos of James Harden hugging Joel Embiid on the court and saying, this is the new Kobe Shaq. And I lost it. I just couldn't stop laughing. I told my kids, like, this is comical. Folks, I mean, listen, the reality is these are 2 great regular season players, right? James Harden, an iconic regular season player. All he does in the playoffs is choke, kind of like his coach, Doc Rivers, the only coach to lose 3 3-1 series in NBA history. And Joel Embiid, you know, he's never been an alpha in the playoffs. He's never been in the conference finals. Let that settle in. Hell no, the Sixers are not the favorites in the East. The gambling odds have them 3rd, and I'm with Rick. I love the Miami Heat. I hyped the Heat on this show. You guys remember back in the offseason in August, and y'all laughed at me. We're the Miami Heat first in the East. But I do want to drill down for a second, Rick, This Harden Embiid idea that they're going to just dominate and eviscerate the East, okay? Let's look at how they are as players. These are guys who are like, your turn, my turn. I'm going to go, I'm going to do my step back, I'm going to get in my bag, and I'm going to fire up some garbage, okay? And then Joel Embiid's like, okay, it's my turn to showboat and try some Hakeem Olajuwon stuff. Rick, the reality is these are two ISO players. They do not work great together. I can't wait for the honeymoon to end in the playoffs. And, Rick, I'll take it a next step. This is not even a top 5 duo in the East. When you got like Kyrie and KD who played great together, Jimmy Butler, who's a great defender, and Bam Adebayo, you go on down the list, Giannis and Middleton, Brown and Tatum, all these combos work better together. And there's going to be a rude awakening for Philly fans. I know you don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs, but when you look at the postseason, it is a totally different animal. Guys, actually try on defense. And James Harden, he's seen it. They key on him, and he can't do anything. I'm just telling you, Sixers fans, a first-round exit will not be a surprise for me, especially if they have to draw Miami, Milwaukee, or maybe even Brooklyn.
J-Mac, you always start out in the right direction, and then it's suddenly like, whoa, where'd he go? He just fell off the cliff.
I'm right here.
Jaylen Brown, not a better combination than Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, those guys have been to the conference finals multiple times. They are great, talented players. I'd take them as a duo over Harden and Embiid, this duo that everybody thinks is the new Kobe Shaq. They're not. Sorry.
Look, Kobe, the new Kobe Shaq is going a little too far, but you're going way too far in the other direction.
Does James Harden play an ounce of
them
defense?
As a combo.
Find me the definitive James Harden playoff moment where he actually showed up in a game 5, 6, or 7. Just find me one. I'll sit here and wait. It could take a while.
Well, to Greg's point, I mean, some of it has been that he hasn't always had a great running mate, not since he was in Oklahoma City and had KD and Russell Westbrook, and he was coming off the
Dwight
bench.
Howard, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, not good. Okay, got it.
Chris Paul got hurt.
Which one of those guys are you stumping for?
Like, they're all Hall of Famers, Rick. What are you talking about? He had great Hall of Fame talent, and he doesn't get along with anybody, anyone. The honeymoon lasts, and then it ends very badly for James Harden.
I'm with you on that, but the East is fractured, and you're making it sound like the 76ers aren't going anywhere. They are potentially a dangerous team with those two players. Again, we look at the rest of the league. We've talked about the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, for me, the Milwaukee Bucks need Brook Lopez back in order to fully function. I love how Giannis has evolved, and I love them playing him predominantly at the 5 spot and what that does and the difficulty in matching up. But the fact of the matter is, Joel Embiid is a handful, and you need a big body to put on him to cross him out. And with the Miami Heat, who is that big body? Bam Adebayo? He's not any bigger than Giannis when it comes to that. So, and I've seen the Miami Heat. I just saw them last year. Couldn't get out of the first round. I know that there are some paper lions on that roster. I still believe that the Bucks are the best, and I need to see the Nets with Ben Simmons before I'm going to place where the 76ers are. But you're making them sound like they got categorically, or as Greg would say, catastrophically worse than they were before they made the trade. And I wouldn't say that. They are in a honeymoon period. But those honeymoon periods with James Harden generally are not over in weeks. They last at least months, a year. So they're in that space right now. And that gives them the opportunity to do something. All is well and good. Look, until Joel Embiid loses the MVP race because James Harden has now dropped his usage rate and has caused his numbers to go down, and they don't make a deep playoff run, then I can see the honeymoon coming to an end. But right now, they're very excited that they have a guy who's actually on the court and is willing to score and shoot and distribute, unlike the guy that they moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah. There you go, Rick. The excitement is going to last and propel them into at least, the very least, the end of this season. However long that ends up being, it's predicated on this level of excitement and this honeymoon period that you say is going to be over next week, Jason.
Not next week.
Let's be
first round.
Let's be realistic. James Harden is an elite player when he's playing like this. When he's comfortable, when he gets to do what he does best, which is that ISO ball, you can say it's your turn, my turn, whatever you want to say, it's going to work until someone stops it. And then defensively, you don't really need – he has to play defense, but you don't need him to be that defensive stopper. You got Thibault for that. They have the pieces, a wing player that can step up against other wings and defend their best player. You don't have to have James Harden do that. And then you have the inside presence of Joel Embiid, both offensively and defensively. And then guys have to step out with him. Like, this is going to be a real problem for the East, let alone the